All right, let's talk about something that can feel a little cryptic when you're working in the Linux command line, file permissions. Today, we're going to demystify all of it. It's time to crack the code.
Yeah, this line right here. If you've spent any time at all in a Linux terminal, you've definitely seen it. And at first glance, it just looks like a bunch of random letters and dashes, right? Total gibberish. But that's actually a secret code, a really powerful one. That little string of characters controls exactly who can read, write, and execute every single file on your system. Think of it as the official rulebook, and today, we're handing you the decoder ring.
So let's dive right in. First things first, how do we even see this code? You can't decode what you can't see, and finding it is the first step to understanding who has control and why this is also critical for security. It's actually super simple. The magic command you need is ls-l. Just typing that into your terminal lists out all the contents of your directory, but in the long format. And boom, right there in the first column, it reveals that permission string for every single file and folder. This is it. This is your first step to really mastering your system. Okay, so now you know how to see the code. The next step, learning to speak its language. We're going to break this thing down piece by piece, and I promise, after this, it'll never look like gibberish to you again. You know, this code looks complicated, but it's surprisingly simple once you see the pattern. That very first character, that just tells you the file type. A dash, like we have here, just means it's a regular file. Easy enough. Now, the next 9 characters, that's the good stuff. They're broken into 3 little groups of 3. The first set, RW- is for the file's owner, who gets to read and write. The second set, R-, is for the group, and they can only read. And that final set, R-, applies to others, which is literally everyone else, and they can also only read. See? Owner, group, others. 3 sets of rules. Simple, right? Okay, so reading the code is cool. You can now see who has what permissions. But the real power? That comes from being able to write the code, to change the rules yourself. So let's get into how we actually do that. The main command for this is chmod, which is short for change mode. It's your primary tool for setting these rules. Now, there are a couple ways to use it. There's a symbolic mode for quick changes, but we're going to focus on the really powerful one, the numeric mode, because it lets you set everything all at once. And the whole secret to numeric mode is just some super simple math. Seriously, that's it. Every permission has a value. Read is worth 4, write is 2, and execute is 1. If you want to create a permission set, you just add the numbers together. So, want to give read and write access? That's just 4 plus 2, which gives you 6. That's the core concept. And here's how it all plays out. You can see all the possible combinations right here. A 0 means 0 permissions, nothing. A 4 is just read only. A 5, well, that's 4 plus 1, so it's read and execute. And the big one, 7, that's 4 plus 2 plus 1, is the whole shebang. Read, write, and execute. Full control. Getting comfortable with these numbers, 0 through 7, is really the key. So let's put this into practice with a super common one you'll see everywhere. chmod 755. What does that mean? Well, remember, we have 3 numbers for our 3 groups: owner, group, and others. That first number, 7, gives the owner full control. The next 2 numbers, both 5s, give the group and others read and execute permissions. This is perfect for programs or scripts that you want other people to be able to run, but not change. Okay, what about a normal file, like a text document or some web content? For that, chmod 644 is pretty much the standard you'll want to use. The owner gets a 6, so read and write. Makes sense. Everyone else gets a 4, read only. This is just a great safe default. It lets people see the content without being able to accidentally modify it. But what if you have something that's for your eyes only, something you don't want anyone else to touch? That's where chmod 700 comes in. The owner gets a 7, full control, but the group and others, they get a big fat 0, absolutely no access. This is essential for private scripts or any files that have sensitive information. Now, these permissions are great, but they're only half the story, right? I mean, the rules are only useful if they're applied to the right people. So what if you need to change who the owner actually is? Let's take a quick look at that. Luckily, this part is very straightforward. To change the individual owner, you use the chown command, short for change owner. To change the group that has access, you use chgrp. Yep, change group. These 2 commands, combined with chmod, give you total control over who can do what. So let's bring all this together. You now have the fundamental tools not just for managing a few files here and there, but for structuring and securing your entire Linux environment. So to recap, it all really boils down to three key commands. You've got chmod to set the rules, chown to assign the owner, and chi-grp to assign the group. Master these three, and you've really mastered the core of Linux file management.
And that's really the big takeaway. This isn't just some boring administrative task. Every single time you set a permission, you are making a security decision. Proper permissions are your absolute first line of defense against unauthorized access and even just simple mistakes. So now you have the tools. You can read the code, you can write the code, and you can assign control. You basically hold the keys to the digital kingdom. The only question left is, what are you going to protect?